What's up everybody? I hope you're doing well. Well, I am very aware that for all the videos so far in this Psychologist Trainee Fail series, I've highlighted times when the trainee system has failed me. But I will be honest, I am no saint, so I think we're overdue for me to share a story of one of my own fails. So stay tuned to hear all about the time I got busted in grad school for plagiarism. Welcome to Private Practice Skills. I'm Dr. Marie Fang, psychologist in private practice. I post videos offering tools I learned the hard way about starting and growing private practice so that you don't have to. Yeah, you heard me correctly in the intro of this video. I got busted for plagiarism. So to hear the full context of this story, we're gonna need to rewind back to fall of 2010 when I was a third year in grad school taking an advanced course on CBT. Now this class was taught by my favorite professor in grad school, and she still is after this story. So the only reason why I signed up for this advanced CBT class is because I loved this professor so much in my intro CBT course. Not only did I love the professor, I loved the course material as well. There was no part of me that had any desire to plagiarize. Enter the course final project. Dun dun dun. Now this project was a group project and I teamed up with two other ladies in the class that I had a really good rapport with. I was feeling good going into this group project. The assignment was to do a deep dive on a specific type of therapeutic orientation, develop a kind of worksheet implementing the tools from this therapeutic technique, put together a brochure explaining the technique, and also do a mock therapy session in front of the class where one of the therapists or one of the classmates would role play being a therapist implementing this technique. And genuinely, me and these two other girls had no malice going into this project, no intent of plagiarizing. In fact, up until the point that we got our grades back, we thought we did a pretty good job. And even though we had no intent of plagiarizing, we did. So our project was doing a deep dive on ACT, which to this day is one of my favorite therapeutic strategies. And because it wasn't a traditional kind of written essay format piece, we just didn't have plagiarism at the top of our minds when we put these different components of the assignment together. We didn't think about how important it is to not copy and paste from a textbook or a website. For the part of the assignment where we were supposed to compile things together into a worksheet, we didn't think about how it would be not wise to copy and paste components of other ACT worksheets in order to create a new worksheet. As I say all of these things out loud 10 years later, I'm kind of like, duh, Marie, you can't do that. But genuinely, we didn't think about it, and so lesson learned. But that's what we did. We did copying and pasting in order to compile all these different things that we put together for the assignment. And so after we turned it in, we were feeling pretty good. And then we got this email from my professor. She says, "Hi girls, unfortunately there is a huge issue with the written portion of your ACT project. The entire brochure was plagiarized, copy and pasted from a variety of online sources, and even the one handout you created, as opposed to scanning out of a workbook, is almost identical to one in the doll manual." The assignment was to create something new, and she goes on about how this was not what we were supposed to do. And she goes on to say that we didn't even reference the websites that we copy and pasted from in our citations, which makes it that much worse. I agree. I have no idea how I managed to do all of this and not even realize that I had done it. Anyway, skipping ahead, she gives us the benefit of the doubt, which was too generous. And then she says she's not going to take any further action, but we are going to get a C- on the written portion of the assignment. In retrospect, now that I'm rereading this email 10 years later with a fresh set of eyes, this is hitting me as a highly generous response from our professor. She did not have to give us the benefit of the doubt in assuming that we didn't intend to plagiarize, but we really missed the mark on this one. She could have given us an F on the entire assignment. She could have reported it to the Board of Ethics, etc. Now, between my professor's email and my reply, 5 hours passed, and though I don't really remember the details of those 5 hours, I do remember an extremely frantic text thread between me and the two other girls in my group. We were all freaking out because none of us had any clue that we'd messed up so big time, and we're all straight A students. So somehow we came to the conclusion that I was going to be the one to reach out to the professor, and I do remember personally feeling like I needed to clear the air with my professor because even if I was going to take a C- or worse, I just wanted her to know that that's just not my character, and clear the air with her because she really was my favorite professor, and I wanted to stay connected with her even after I graduated. So we found out a time to meet, and though I don't remember the content of that conversation, I do remember how I felt. And the predominant feelings that I remember are, one, feeling highly apologetic, and feeling bad that I might have let my professor down, whom I looked up to so much. But in addition to that, I also felt really cared for. And I don't mean that in the sense that like my professor just enabled the behavior or brushed it aside. She made very clear the seriousness of what we had done, and I got that memo in that meeting if I hadn't gotten it yet. But it was very caring, very professional, highly boundaried, and in my mind, kind of like what the interaction should be like when a student messes up and they approach their professor to address it. The reason why I'm highlighting that piece is because for so many of these stories in this series, I've highlighted areas that the trainee system has really failed. And this was a shining example of when I failed, how the trainee system really treated me properly and respectfully, even when I didn't deserve the kind treatment that I got. So in the end, even though this is a psychologist trainee fail video, it really wasn't a fail after all. I made a fail in it, but the trainee system did not fail me. And I hope this highlights what things can look like when we treat each other with dignity and respect, even when we've made mistakes. And before we close, thank you to TherapyNotes.com for sponsoring this video. TherapyNotes helps with scheduling, notes, and billing, and they have a HIPAA-secure telehealth platform so you can safely meet with your clients remotely. If you're interested in checking them out, you can get 2 months to try TherapyNotes for free with no commitment just by clicking the link in the description of this video. Well, I hope you found this video helpful, whether you're in grad school right now, maybe you got busted for plagiarism like I did, or you just needed an encouraging story. Let me know in the comments if you have any positive stories of good moments in your trainee experience. And until next time, from one therapist to another, I wish you well. How's it going?
Good home stretch.
Home stretch. Bye.